Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing the same image over and over until I am successful.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out our drawing guidebook linked below. Abby, how many times did you sketch this image?
Not that many times.
What are we talking? 10? 100?
No.
500?
Maybe like 6 or 7.
That's a lot. Okay. Okay.
But they were really rough because I was really trying to get my feet wet on like emulating the style, and no, I did not succeed on this, of Joey Coco, who is an artist we have looked at recently, who does a lot of gesture and line work that's just very, very flowy and beautiful. So I wanted to fail quickly, as we say, where you know you have to get the doing it badly out of the way.
That is fair.
And I needed to get that doing it badly stuff out of the way. So here I am just trying to get all that done of doing a bad job. And so I did. But I had fun.
So I did.
But I had fun doing it, and in the end, I went away from sketching it in the quote-unquote attempted style of Joey Coco and drew it just the way I would normally draw it, with a little bit more dedicated straight lines and edges and corners.
I like it. Do you feel like from attempting to replicate the style of another artist, was there anything there for you, or was it all frustration?
So this particular style, so I found a lot that I was struggling with proportions. Joey Coco makes it look effortless to just draw these perfect lines that still indicate.
She has done it a number of times very successfully.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't successful on that front, but I also didn't feel bad.
This one looks great. This one feels very close.
It definitely, I got a little better every time. But I also, discovered certain shortcomings, like, oh, really, I do need to kind of block something out a little bit, because if I just throw this line wildly here and this one wildly here, I'm not going to end up in the right spot. So I would try like blocking it out a bit, fading out the opacity, drawing on top of that, and then drawing on top of that again, just to see where I end up and if
I
it
like
would
that.
get a little
That's
better.
really cool. Yeah, like a repetitive process, trying again and again.
Yeah.
I can definitely see elements of their gestural style.
I did some draw overs of some of their work as well initially.
Oh, interesting.
Just to try to get like a more like hands-on feel for how their lines are created and where they go, and that was really fun to do as well. I'm so much more literal when I look at a reference, so that was hard for me to like try to push on that a little bit.
I think you have to be before you can start, experimenting.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I came away with, was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready to fully experiment. So here I go back and I decide to block out a little bit, which I don't normally do.
You don't? No, that's very unlike you.
But because I'm working within the confines of this ellipse, I felt like I kind of needed to not have things just end randomly where they don't in the reference.
That's fair.
So I blocked out and then drew this piece, and then I even put some paint on it.
You, a painter?
Yeah, with limited success once again, but nonetheless, all these moments of limited success, when you gotta remember that we're building up towards moments of positive success, and it takes a lot of limited success along the way to get there.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, even just seeing you do those repetitive redrawings was super cool. Like, I could definitely see improvement between each one. And seeing you start to, like, just in the fabric, create those swooping lines, those gestural swoops through the skirt or whatever that she's wearing there was super cool. Like, that was really fun to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, that was very, very fun to do.
But I like getting to see your own style here as well.
It was kind of interesting to go back and redraw it all with like just the way I would normally have gone about drawing it, just to see the differences there. It's a lot more hard-edged, and I currently actually really enjoy working with more corners and like sharpness. So to see that sharpness come back out was interesting to me.
I typically work with nothing but sharp edges.
I know, and it looks great. So all of it can be done well.
I think everybody has their own, preferences for so many different things. This actually, like the colors you've chosen here, feel very old-timey, like Barnum and Bailey circus.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little bit desaturated and sepia toned a little bit. Yeah, definitely felt like that to me as well. So I tried to keep that a little bit as I went along. I experimented a lot with like some subtle buildup of value shifts starting here on her legs to practice that a little bit and to see what I could do. That was really fun to do. It's still taking from stuff that I've learned from you recently of, drawing in with one very deep color and then fading it out or making a gradient, adding in some noise to try to get some texture, which is just awesome to experiment with. Because, I figured, I'm in no hurry to I don't know how finished this will be, but I'll take every piece of it individually as far as I can.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, something that I think I have tried to do many times is be hyper-focused about trying to practice one thing when I start a piece. And I feel like by the time I get like a quarter of the way into it, I'm just like, well, there's so many other things that I need to also do and want to focus on. Like it feels so hard to like just experiment on only one thing for a drawing when there's so many different things that you need to execute on to even get it to a, semi-finished state.
I totally agree with that. The number of times I've sat down and been like, I'm just going to practice this one thing. Well, that's just so hard to do on a piece when if you want to see something relatively finished, you have to experiment with a lot of things. Like I experimented with this red clothing for a long time just to come away with something that ended up fairly muddy, but that's okay. Like I still got to try.
Yeah, do you remember the frog that I painted recently?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have done the same thing on that skirt that I did with the log on the frog that I made. I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but I tried to paint this log like 10 times and I could not figure it out for the life of me. So eventually I just took the image of the log, put it in my painting, and then painted over top of that.
Oh, yeah.
And it really actually helped me figure out what was going on with the texture on a micro level so that I could transfer that into something that actually made sense.
Oh, that's cool.
And it turned out that I just needed to decrease the size of my brush. I needed to flow it with the grain of the bark of the branch. It really just helped me figure out exactly what I needed to do.
That's a cool study.
Yeah, I think it's something that might not be useful to do a bunch of, but in the middle of a painting, if you're struggling to figure something out, I could definitely see it being, at least it is for me and was for me there, it can be very helpful.
That makes sense.
Because this is that clothing, all that reflective fabric is just crazy. There's a lot going on there.
There is a ton going on.
So to simplify that and break it all down, it would be very difficult.
And I was gentle on myself. I was like, I came in here with the purpose of practicing the Joey Coco line. So if I don't refine this all the way out, then that's okay. Because that's not even what I originally came here to do. So I didn't.
Now, do you do a nice little gradated background here? Get some nice Barnum and Bailey tint texture?
I do.
Where did you find this image?
Pinterest. It was on Pinterest, and it was actually from trying to search Joey Coco's work. But there's
really?
Other
maybe this is an old photographer
in history that are Joey Coco. So I was getting a lot of confused results from Pinterest.
Pinterest is a terrible search engine in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It'll offer up decent references, but I cannot tell you how many times I've seen the same images on there.
Plus, you can't usually go back and re-find an image that's once you've seen it, it's gone forever.
You have to save it.
If you don't save it, it's gone.
It is gone.
Yeah, I've spent some time trying to reclaim images before that I'm like, maybe I can find it if I search the exact same things, and it's like, nope, that one's gone.
You can't, you won't.
Because it's a rabbit hole of clicking on one pin takes you to all these other pins, and then you click on one of those.
And all of them are AI now, because that's what art is today.
Oh, that's not true. But yeah, there's a lot of AI stuff on there now too.
There is. All of the websites are going the AI route. And if you want to be AI,
I do.
click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
I hope it's not too noticeable that I didn't include the chains that suspend the ring in the air. But I figured that's okay.
I mean, it is now. She's floating there.
Wow,
She's
how does she
falling.
do that?